Oh man, an incredible move on Bitcoin, reclaiming $90,000 here despite stocks in the US struggling. Huge strength here by crypto, getting back to that $90,000 mark. Can we head higher? Can we get to 100K this week? This is a very, very important bounce, not just because of the price action and the technical analysis, but also what this represents from a fundamental perspective in terms of a decoupling, but also a flight to safety. Loads to unpack in this video. Don't forget to smash on the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you actively want to trade with me, please do jump on over to Femex, where I'm actively trading right now here on Femex. Beautiful, beautiful UI. That's the exchange I'm using currently. Links in description for some amazing bonuses. But check out these trades, guys. I took 10% at the first take profit on my Radium trade. Beautiful trade. Also, I took 7%, took that profit a little bit earlier because I saw the momentum kind of waning on this breakout from this downward channel on SUI. So some beautiful trades which I'm sharing in the Telegram community. Make sure you jump in there and check out Femex, links in description, for non-KYC, right? You don't need KYC to trade with Femex. They've got all these amazing pairs. Check it out. Check it out. I think you'll be impressed by Femex. I've been using it and I'm enjoying it. So let's now check out Bitcoin, right? Huge momentum here on the 4-hourly chart. If I jump down to the daily, this is where you really see what's going on, right? A huge breakout. Let's just clear off the EMA ribbon for a second. A huge breakout from this downward channel, which we were monitoring for a while. In fact, if you go back, we had this W pattern, right? Let me just notch this down to the 4-hourly so you can see. We had this W pattern. We called this breakout. We worked our way out. We retested the trend line, and then some tremendous strength now to complete the breakout. And this is a beautiful couple of days, right? Yesterday, the traditional markets were wrecked. They were down bad, but crypto was up, signaling a decoupling, a flight to safety. People don't want to be in the dollar. They want to be in gold. We've seen gold hit record highs, and Bitcoin, in my opinion, is still lagging behind. And that's why I think there could be a huge amount of upside when you've got gold at record highs and Bitcoin not even at the levels it was at just weeks and months ago at 110,000. So I see a huge opportunity here for Bitcoin to get back to those 110 levels and beyond, which is another 20% move from here. But you can see it happens quickly, right? 2.75% yesterday, 3.6% today. Huge candle. But what's interesting today is traditional markets are bouncing, right? You can see here S&P is up 2.7% with the green candle. NASDAQ is green candle sticking as well, up 3%. And Bitcoin is moving at a multiple of the pace. You can even see CNBC is covering Bitcoin. You always know when they're covering it that you cannot hide from Bitcoin, showing tremendous strength. I found this chart particularly useful, which is showing that here's stocks, gold, and Bitcoin in April, right? So gold is up 8.8% in the period. Bitcoin is up 5.5% and stocks are down 8%. So you can see there's still like a 3.3% delta between gold outperforming Bitcoin, but Bitcoin still massively outperforming the stocks. If you take a look at the Bitcoin correlation to gold, it is sitting at that kind of, Bitcoin's correlation to the S&P and gold. You are seeing it correlated 0.3% to gold and pretty much zero correlation now to stocks when it was as high as 0.5% at the start of April, which is very, very interesting to monitor. We also know it's not a coincidence that we're now starting to climb in the M2 money supply, right? Look at this inflection up here in the M2 money supply. When more money is flowing in the economy, that is when crypto tends to do well, and we're seeing that move up here. Now, what is important, if I bring out our favorite EMA ribbon, is we've now closed that bullish, right? This is hugely beneficial for us. In fact, let's see if I can show you BTC all times, just so you can see how we've reclaimed the EMA ribbon on all the important time frames, right? So top left, hourly chart, we're bullish. Bottom left, 4-hourly chart, we're well above it. Daily chart, we've cleared above it now. Don't mind if we get a nice retest. You can see the lighter colored EMA ribbon crossing above the darker one, signaling a flippening of the daily EMA ribbon if we can sustain some of this momentum. And of course, our trusted Bitcoin weekly chart here in the bottom right corner, 3 strong candlesticks delivering us a very, very important bounce here from the EMA ribbon. Now, are we suddenly out of the woods? Are we free and clear? No. right? We need to understand there are still some challenges in the horizon, but that doesn't mean we sit there with a bearish mentality. And this is really, really important because a lot of people are bearish because their altcoins are not pumping. And yet Bitcoin, like I've just demonstrated, is presenting a hugely bullish setup, right? We've just had a retracement to the mean, which is Bitcoin coming back from 110 as low as down to lows of 74.4. 110 to 74.4 presents a huge risk to reward situation when you start to confirm the bounce, which is of course what we've got here on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, same thing. We were below our EMA ribbon for a long period of time. We've managed to reclaim it and show some strength, but people are frustrated because their altcoins aren't moving. Unfortunately, right now, you're not going to catch an altcoin pump. This market is being fueled on fear, right? People are worried. Look at this dollar index. Look at this weekly candlestick on dollar index. Horrible, right? The dollar is getting decimated because of the whole Trump saga, the situation, with the tariffs, what he said yesterday about Jerome Powell, you're too late to cut rates. Like, you don't want to hear your president saying that, right? You want them to be on the same page. You want them in control of the economy. You don't want him panicking saying, oh, you're too late, Trump, Powell, you're a loser, blah, blah, blah. That's not good. That's not good. That leads to a panic here in the dollar. A panic in the dollar is the benefit of gold, right? It's to the benefit of gold and it's to the benefit of Bitcoin, which acts as that safety asset. And this is the beauty of Bitcoin, which people don't seem to understand. I spoke to this a few years ago on a YouTube video I made. I said, Bitcoin has this beautiful duality. People would ask me, is it a risk asset or is it anti-inflationary? Which one is it? Is it a store of value or is it risk? It's both. Right? It's crazy how Bitcoin can move like a chameleon. When there's fear in the market, like a pandemic or this tariff issue, Bitcoin acts as a flight to safety. You've seen it happen. People are flocking to it just like they're flocking to gold, which is a defensive asset class. And yet when the market's risk on, when the NASDAQ is pumping, when all the stocks are pumping and Tesla and all that stuff, guess what pumps too? Bitcoin pumps too. What's the difference between the two scenarios, however? When Bitcoin is pumping from a defensive perspective, it's very important. When Bitcoin is pumping from a defensive perspective, it's doing so without altcoins moving. In other words, Bitcoin dominance goes up. When Bitcoin is moving due to risk rotating on, you see altcoins moving and you see Bitcoin dominance fall. That is the difference. So if ever you're unsure which form factor is Bitcoin taking, is it taking a defensive asset class? Is it acting as a risk on? Take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. I'm going to share it with you right now. Bitcoin dominance here is in a huge uptrend. Again, this is a weekly chart you're looking at, a tremendously high uptrend. And, ever since September of 2022, it paid to be in Bitcoin, and hugely so, right? Which is why constantly in my videos I preach, guys, don't forget to eat your veg, get yourself some Bitcoin, get some of these safe stuff. But no, everybody wants to have the altcoins, which I'm fine with. Just eat your veg. Eat your veg for moments like this. Hopefully you learned it from this cycle. So Bitcoin dominance going up, Bitcoin moving. Today was interesting, just today as a day, because Bitcoin dominance didn't move too much. This is the daily candle on Bitcoin dominance compared to yesterday when it had a very strong day. Today was relatively flat because altcoins were moving a little bit today. Ethereum up 7.43. If you look at things like Sonic up 6%, and you're starting to see some green shoots in some of the altcoins. Again, Radium, the trade which I took, up close to 10% today. Casper up 8%. Bonk is up 15%. That's bonkers. Avalanche is up 10%. So you're starting to see some of these movements. So remember, we've done our breakdown, right? I shared with you going through the breakdown of looking at all these altcoins and the percentage they're down from all-time highs. These altcoins were retraced badly, right? Bad. 80%, 90%. I mean, Cardano still down 80% from all-time highs. Chainlink down 75%. Avalanche, I just showed you, it pumped 10%, still down 86% from all-time highs. So, you're not too late. If you want to get in some of your favorite altcoins, if you want to be buying, altcoins haven't popped off yet, right? There's still time to accumulate some of your favorite altcoins. And for me on Bitcoin, I'd say the same thing. Would I chase these candles? No. I'd want to see a red candlestick kind of retesting some of these levels for me to buy. There's no need for me to FOMO in on a powerful green candle after 2 strong days, but I'm happy to buy. Bitcoin between 80 to 85. At the end of the day, this is an asset class that went to 110 just months ago. And like I said, gold is at an all-time high. And yet Bitcoin is not an all-time high. For me, that shows me a discrepancy. That shows me an opportunity. Fear and greed index notching up to 47 in that neutral territory. Of course, after a strong positive day yesterday, some of that fear starts to evaporate. The bubbles are starting to look a little bit healthy today, given that some altcoins are pumping. But more importantly, look at this. Shorts got wrecked, right? In the last 24 hours, $350 million of leverage was liquidated. 245,000. That's $250 million, guys. Billion with a B. $250 million wrecked from the market, people shorting this market. And this shouldn't come as a surprise to you. We spoke about this. We looked at this liquidation map, and I shared with you guys that the price was getting so retraced down to 75, down to the 80 level. I said, guys, the liquidity is building above. That starts to become really lucrative for market makers. And what do market makers just do? They've just nabbed that. They've just gone and moved the price action to the upside, and they've grabbed these pockets of liquidity. 88, we saw them fighting for that over the last kind of 36 hours. They went and grabbed it. 89, they went and grabbed it. 90,000, they went and grabbed it. Now, as people start to chase the FOMO, guess what happens? The opposite happens. Everybody gets greedy. I want to get in a leverage long position. And slowly, all of this leverage below becomes super attractive. And that's how the market makers work. Then they'll start to move the price back to the downside. So don't be surprised to see more volatility as the market gets greedy to the upside. Market makers may shake us back down to kind of 85, 83 to grab some free liquidity. Would you not? If there was $250 billion for free for you to go grab. So they're going to do that. But for us, we just need to stay patient. I'm still not in any, leverage or margin. I'm just paying it patient, in spot, in the projects I like, enjoying these moves to the upside. We just hit 91,000 incidentally as I'm recording. Hugely strong price momentum here on Bitcoin. A strong 4% day now at the time of recording this video. Very, very impressive. Now again, guys, if you want to trade with me, if you want to take these beautiful TA setups, I share these in my Telegram group, right? Super, super affordable. Get inside. This is a 7% trade I'm sharing with you. This is a 10% trade I'm sharing with you. These are just at TP1, right? This still needs to run towards my take profit 2 and then my take profit 3. And again, I'm taking these trades on Femex. So come join me on Femex. I'll leave the link in the description and let's trade together. Super, super exciting times here for Bitcoin. Enjoying these pumps. We deserved it. After all that fear the last couple of weeks around the tariffs, we're starting to see that momentum start to pick up on Bitcoin. We're seeing it act like that defensive asset class, and people are realizing this is a really strong asset class we want to be in. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Don't forget to smash some likes. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.